И вот мы снова здесь. Опять вы играете в Stanley Parable. Я это уже понял, я это уже знаю, я уже третий раз ее запускаю. Сегодня мы попытаемся пройти еще 2 концовки, если, конечно, их вообще найду. Потом постараемся сделать это достижение. Что давайте сейчас сделаем? Начать игру. Если хотите посмотреть начальный ролик в этой игре, то идите в прошлое видео. Там я его видел. Но сейчас я не хочу его слушать. Что-то долго. Ладно, подождем. Да сколько можно ждать? Наконец-то. О, господи. О, так, все, всем пока. Вот, первая концовка. Зачем мне куда-то идти?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Согласен.
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly.
Да, не надо.
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me.
Конечно, не тронет.
Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
Да, сидеть в комнате один, ничего не делать, смотреть на часики или на что-нибудь, смотреть свой компьютер пустой. Хотя если там дота есть, то мне можно. Сейчас. Не понял.
He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer.
Ну вот.
Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Ой. Все, концовка. Да, концовка. Ну, концовка так концовка. Все, побежали. Теперь давайте еще одну концовку сделаем. Попробуем сейчас одну вещь. Так, вот. Вот тут я хочу. Раз. Все, начать игру сначала. Такс. Теперь дальше. Я не помню, где именно находится, но... Где-то должен стать. Где? О! А в этих вот. Начать игру сначала. Теперь нужно, ну, там в итоге 6 инпутов. Сейчас идем за третьим инпутом.
Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Так, наш конференц-зал. Да, я знаю, где конференц-зал.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
О, да.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Боже,
Feeling
как долго по-английски говорят.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Да, где-то там сверху теперь должно быть. Давай, опа, а войти инпут. Ок, все, начать игру сначала. Итак, 6 раз, 4 раза. Нет, 3 раза мы это уже сделали. Блин, я не помню, где. А куда дальше идти? Я не помню. Я не помню. Здесь пусто. Я не помню, куда идти нужно. Я не помню.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Направо.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Блин, я так странно выгляжу. У меня один микрофон, который я говорю, и другой микрофон. А нет, не здесь. А знаешь что? Знаешь что? Пум! Я не хочу туда идти. Давайте здесь еще какую-нибудь концовочку сделаем. Давайте. В прошлый раз я прыгал туда, но теперь я хочу пойти...
I realize
Туда.
that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult,
Хотя
but the
нет.
fact is
Туда.
that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please,
Нафиг мне
stop
эту
trying to make
пасхалку.
every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it,
Для нее.
your chance
Для
to
кого?
redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been
понял.
waiting.
Господи, я испугался.
You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another,
А, это
then
обычная
pick
комната.
up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double
Я
check.
крутой. Идешь, там бумаги есть. Я думал, ты
It's
бомж.
definitely here, closed it. Stanley picks up the phone,
Господи.
takes to the apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even
Я уронил
possible?
микрофон.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly,
Так, значит, сейчас буду переводить. Я буду много останавливать. Выбор.
can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm..."
Как резко оборвалось. Давай практика.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making
Вот это
process.
чисто я.
Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Подчеркнули, я ничего не
Welcome
понял.
back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way,
А я не хочу. О! Я хочу поднять трубку. Danger. Everywhere. Опасность всегда. Везде, всегда. О, фотостудия. Я хочу себе фотку сделать. А вот я и вернулся. Ах
Now that we
ты
know your
ж.
choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That
Ну я
story
ж
would
хотел
make no
такое.
sense at
Я ж
all.
хотел, в принципе, такое
We just
сделать.
need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Пиу. О, пошли. Куда пойдем? Никуда. Можно, а можно обратно? Стоп. За то, что я прыгну с этого лифта как это тупо выглядит. Если я упаду и сдохну, как я заплачу 5000 баксов? И зачем? Потому что снизу бриллианты, что ли, или не пойму. Так, я не хочу уходить. Ладно, придется. Так уж и быть. Я не хочу тут никаких пасхалок иметь. Слишком долгие. Может, они тут есть, но слишком долгие. Значит. О, а вот я и здесь снова. Я так и хотел, в принципе, сделать. Ой. О. Не понял. А, нет, нормально все.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Я могу обратно пойти. Я хочу обратно пойти. Такс. Нет, все нельзя. Обидно. Так. 489. Что такое достижение? Позвоните, посмотрите на Дор.
Remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
А зачем мне идти налево? Не-а.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Ладно. Обратно. Снова опять? Туда снова пойти? Нифига себе. А, искажаться уже начинает, да? Здесь уже искажается. Да нет, вроде. Ну, я не хочу туда идти. Ну, ладно. Тут другого варианта нету. Тут вроде еще все нормально. Ну, ладно.
It's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that you... My story. You've destroyed my work. Why?
Ну, ладно.
For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game
посидеть можно.
undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way.
Ну да.
Better to shut the game down entirely. To
Нет.
willingly destroy all of my work. I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Я пошла обратно. Я обратно. Я ничего не вижу. Может, надо было успеть пройти? О. А в любом случае оказался бы здесь.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With
Ой-ой.
You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where you are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Сейчас.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside
Ну
of
да.
you. You're a child.
Я не ребенок, сам ты ребенок.
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious.
О,
It would have
давайте
been so
концовку сделаем.
perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
О,
I'm
всё
quite sure you'll be
вернулся
up to the
обратно.
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Давайте еще раз так сделаем, а?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Прям не хотят
Behave
уже.
exactly as Stanley would.
Опять
That
слушайте эту
means
болтовню.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Другого
door
варианта
on
просто
his
нет
left.
уже. Ладно, давайте так сделаем. О, что это? Отличная фотка. Просто листочек. О, да, реально.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
Ладно.
answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Странно. Я знаю, там проход был. Другой концовки, если не было всего этого. Это же просто идет одна огромная концовка. Одна огромнейшая концовка. Не понял.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Все по-другому.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely
Ты
behind
лох.
this door lay
Нет, не
all
ты.
the answers to his questions.
Не ты, кто смотрит, а
And
директор.
beyond
Вы
all
лох.
probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only
Nightshark
one way to find
115.
out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
Ну ладно.
He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
А я сюда хочу сказать. Nightshark 555. Ой. Так.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Прям же красный текст, прям как у Чары. Чара, ты чё вмешиваешься здесь?
I'm
Ай,
sorry,
ладно.
is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
Что ты
Please
говоришь?
speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial
У
step.
меня кружится голова, я не слышу, что ты говоришь. Так, тут есть камера? Я хочу включить
Okay,
камеру.
fine. You're not gonna do it. But
Yep.
you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing. For
Nightshark
your
115.
the kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story
как
seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice.
Не знаю,
you know. You
захотелось
could have gone
прийти.
through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Что?
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Это же... Я такую концовку не видел. Что?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Блин, я не уже что делать.
I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Нифига
Stanley,
себе.
this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you
Нифига
understand?
себе концовка.
It's just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it.
Вот. Так, Гарт и Дарка вот над этим старались.
Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide.
А, господи.
Your choice is correct. That is the best.
Понял от него? А, это не конец.
That's all right.
Я пошел бы вправо. Значит, это не голос в голове. Или голос в голове. О. А, это конец? Блин. Не понял. Не понял.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Нифига себе, сколько тут этих приказов. Воу, тише, мой.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Ладно.
this was not the correct way to the
Я
meeting
попробую
room,
еще одну
and Stanley
концовочку.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first
Back to
open
business.
door on his left.
Обратно, как бы все так дело, но back to business. Fuck. Я не туда пошел. Да. А нафига я перезап... Ой, тупица. Ой, тупица.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
О,
he'd seen
господи,
Mr.
какой
Memo.
тупой. Ой. Ой, зачем я это сделал? Могу
Stanley
вернуться.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Я даже мышку не поворачивал. И так, кажется, и так сойдет.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might find an coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
Только
his
не наверх
boss's
нужно,
office.
а вниз. Нажмем? Не, не нажимается. А шо это?
But Stanley
Машина.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy,
стоп.
why
Я хочу
had he
себе чуть-чуть.
taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe
понял.
I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example,
Странно.
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why
Правильно.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Вообще
And for
ноги
that
у него
matter,
есть.
These rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
Ну да, они
repeated?
повторяются.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange, this can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers were
это не сон.
actually gone. He wasn't going to lose
Это
his
не
job.
сон,
He wasn't
это
crazy
не
after all.
сон.
He thought to himself,
Ла-ла-ла-ла-ла.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above
Не
Earth.
понял. Не понял.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself
Какой я вопрос не задавал?
Why
Ну,
is
я
there a
все
voice in
задавал.
my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course,
Опять машина.
this was
Сколько
not
можно
the
уже?
case. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
Тут даже нет
Believing
названий
that if he's asleep,
этих
he doesn't have to take
дверей.
responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not seem flow to make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with
Я тоже хотел так проснуться.
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Опять не отвлекли.
Okay.
Сколько можно уже?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And
Ой-ой-ой.
black.
Какой же все-таки неприятный звук был так что.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Чё?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people
В том офисе, да?
impressions of her
Да.
would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Чё-то не вижу, что она побежала. Ну да ладно. Ладно, еще и напоследок попробуем сделать одно достижение, которое чуть проверяла довольно долго. Значит, нажать на дверь 435 раз.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Я нажал 12 раз.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble
50
cause.
кликов.
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Давай. Как сложно, я не умею кликать, я только больше пальцами по телефону больше кликаю.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. I want to go put 20 clicks into door number 417.
20 раз, нифига себе. Много ты берешь, много. Так, стоп. Вот она. 20 роликов. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
А как? А как я это сделаю? У меня же закрылся уже. Что? Очень странно. Не знаю. Ладно, тогда на этом мы закончим наш ролик. Ставьте лайк, подписывайтесь на канал. С вами был Модер. Всем пока.